I want to ask you one question from the Burning Man, because I had a chance to visit the Burning Man festival in the United States. So what makes you happy?
That's a good question. What makes me happy? Working in this ecosystem makes me happy. I actually enjoy very much what I do. I've been in this ecosystem, specifically EOS, for the last 7 years. And many people over the years have left. The community has changed significantly. We went through very difficult times and then some good times and everything in between. And for me, when I wake up in the morning, the first thing that I want to do is get back at it. And so that's on the work point of view. At home, I have my son. He's 5.5 years old. I got my son, my wife, and I enjoy spending time with them. He's just a little, ball of energy. I see myself in him so much, and that definitely makes me happy and brings me joy just to spend time with him, to do activities with him. Go snowboarding. We do a bunch of different activities, looking at the world from his eyes. Everything is new. Everything is exciting. Everything is nice, and I think that really grounds me. That gives me a different perspective that, when times are difficult, when there are challenges, that ultimately, if you put it back in perspective, it's pretty good and it'll be okay. Fast forward to 2017, 2016, 2017, I had a renewed interest in blockchain technologies. I was working as an economist for the federal government here in Canada. 2017, ICO summer, I started exploring projects very, very deeply and started reading basically all white papers. So put yourself back in 2017, projects were launching every day, many, many projects. And EOS was one of those projects that looked very promising. You had founders that had run previous projects and they had had experience running in projects on the technical front. They were raising tremendous amount of capitals and they were making very big, very bold commitments to the ecosystem in a different way, right? People were experimenting with different consensus algorithms, experimenting with different ways of being able to do token allocation in terms of the initial distribution, in terms of the token raise as well. And EOS just really fit all the check boxes that I was looking for. It was innovative. It seemed to be backed by a really strong team. It was raising a lot of capital from a technical point of view. It seemed like it had a really bright future and it had learned from previous projects. And so it was going to position itself as an underlying operating system. And I really believed at that time that what we needed was something that'd be able to take us into the future. I thought that at that time, blockchain is here, we've got demand, and we need something that's going to be able to deliver on that demand, essentially supply. And EOS really checked all of that. And alongside with partners, we launched a validator on EOS, and we quickly became one of the top validators on the network. But over time, we saw that a lot of those promises and those commitments that were made during the token sale were not being delivered on. 3.5 years ago, in summer of 2021, or I guess 4 years ago almost now, I left the validator space and I created the foundation. The foundation was created to basically address a need and a gap that I saw within the ecosystem, where funding was lacking, coordination was lacking. We didn't really have any direction. We had been left to a certain extent very disorganized and in chaos. There was no foundation had been set at the onset, and so there was no somewhat coordinating force, a centralizing force. And obviously, blockchain is known for decentralization, but there are definitely some efficiencies and some benefits to centralization, and we were missing that. We were too decentralized, and so creating the foundation really gave us guiding point or a direction to march in. And then over the last couple of years, we started adding different functions and functionalities to the ecosystem. We created a venture arm. We created an incubator in the form of labs. Multiple different components were added as we basically built the ecosystem from the ground up. We essentially had to restart with no capital, no token sale. We essentially inherited the project without necessarily, we inherited zero of the capital that was done. And so it brought about its own challenges. But now it really gave us that underlying resilience that I think a lot of products don't have. And so that gives us a huge advantage going into the future because we built it from the ground up. We did not inherit any capital. We did not run an ICO. And so we really had to start from zero and create very, very, very solid foundations to what is now known as Vaulta.
Hey, if you like this video, don't forget to watch a full episode and also check the links in the description below.